Now, the internationally acclaimed, hugely accomplished, multi-award-winning Nigerian actor and auteur Wale Ojo blasts onto the screen with his latest film titled This Is Not a Nollywood Movie, even though in fact it is. Blending sharp wit, Lagos swagger and great gobs of unapologetic humour, it's been described as a meta-comedy that attempts to challenge the conventions of Nigeria's powerhouse Nollywood film industry, at once a mirror of Nollywood's madness and a hall of mirrors reflecting life in Nigeria. As Wale Ojo himself put it, the film is a love letter to Nollywood, laced with Molotov cocktails of laughter, cameos and plot twists. As one reviewer put it, think The Truman Show meets Usofia in London, with a dash of Lagos chaos injected into the veins. Take a brief look at the trailer.
They don't kidnap the director.
Where's Okechukwu?
Oh God, they don't kidnap Okechukwu.
I heard, but I can't believe it.
You can't believe it. You blind, you don't see people they cry for you can't.
Mother, has Okechukwu been put out of circulation?
Out of circulation? Why do you make him sound like a newspaper article?
This is serious.
Yes, it's very serious. That's why we need to focus.
My name now.
Yeah. I know him.
Let's get it, the Austrians legit.
Okechukwu. Okechukwu.
I didn't hear you.
This na my comeback. I know they play. I dey tell you, I know they play. Now even neku. I know they play.
What are you saying? Hey, what's up?
I beg you, Oga. Make we discuss.
It looks hilarious, doesn't it? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now on the line from Lagos by the writer, producer, actor and director, Wale Ojo. Wale, great to see you again and to see you in top form. I mean, I'm cracking up already. And I haven't actually seen the movie. I've just seen the trailer. I have to admit, I watched it twice this afternoon and I absolutely cracked up. I thought it looked brilliant. I mean, what inspired you to call it This Is Not a Nollywood Movie? I mean, and how much does that attempt to kind of redefine what a Nollywood movie ought to be?
I think the definition of what Nollywood is highly elastic, and I don't think you can put it into one particular box, you know. Nollywood is just so vast, there's just so many different amazing experiences, and I just wanted to kind of capture, you know, what I've experienced in the last 10, 15 years or so working in Nollywood, and to put it into what I would call an off-ball comedy.
I have to say, I mean, it is a satirical comedy. How do you balance humor with, I mean, I don't know what you were trying to do, but I'm wondering whether you're balancing humor with commentary on the challenges of the Nigerian film industry.
Well, I balance all kinds of things. You know, I've balanced NEPA with animal rights. I have balanced the social fabric of the country with eating akara and moi moi. Yeah, I've balanced many things in this film, and I think you have to come at it slightly, very, very much tongue-in-cheek, actually, you know, and to really sit down and, first of all, to take the movie not seriously, yet at the same time to take it seriously, because, as you know, Charles, comedy is a serious business.
Indeed, and especially satire or satirical comedy. And in that regard, let me ask you whether in the context of making it a satire, what aspects of Nollywood you wanted the film to lampoon. I mean, I wonder whether you kind of hope that it sparks a shift in how stories are told or produced in Nigeria.
Well, I think with a stream of the films that we have coming out, there's already a shift, you know. I mean, I hope that my film can provide a cataclysmic shift in the right direction, in a very positive direction. But I think Nollywood is already growing leaps and bounds, and what I'm doing is I'm simply, as an actor, as a storyteller, you know, talking about that, not necessarily parodying all the time, but you know, a commentary, and what I will call a wild and exuberant commentary on the Nigerian film industry, as I have known it and as I have lived it for the last 10, 15 years or so.
When you, because I mean, I knew you when you were on the international stage. I mean, you starred in films like Johnny English Reborn and all kinds of international Hollywood films. I mean, how do the two compare, working in Nollywood and working in Hollywood? I mean...
Well, I always put up my hands up, and people are shocked when they hear this. I actually prefer working in Nollywood. And I'll tell you why. That's because I think as Nigerians, we're gifted with a certain camaraderie that you don't find on international sets, you know. There's just a kind of unity, you know. I mean, you know, the gaffer can come to me as the director and suggest that, you know, oh God, why don't you just try moving it like that, you know? I mean, and you don't have a problem with it, but you won't find that so much in international sets, you know. And you know, we're kind of used to the fact that things go wrong, you know. Oh, Echo Morgue, there's a plane flying overhead, or Nepa takes the light, and everybody just kind of, you know, battles it out, you know. We get stuck in, to put it in a proverbial British way.
Well, I think you're right. There are certain redeeming elements to working at home. I mean, there's no place like home, let's put it that way. I mean, and looking at the cast, I mean, I imagine that working with the likes of Hank Sanuku must have been incredible. I mean, how did you approach casting him, and what did he bring to the story that enhanced it?
Well, when I was going to cast Hank Sanuku, my producer, Boma Akpore, who's, you know, the ex-Big Brother, who's also in the film as an actor and helped me to produce the film, suggested Hank. And then when he suggested him, I was looking at a social media post, and I saw Hank kind of wandering along the street like a madman. And I thought, huh? We can't use this guy. And Boma said, Wale, seriously, ignore that. It's just, that's just social media BS. Let's go to Abuja and meet him. And we flew to Abuja, we met up with Hank, and I was just so impressed. And I said, no, he's perfect for the film. And you know, he kind of plays himself, because he plays a character called Vincent Van Glory, who was an old actor, a very old famous actor, who came back to join Nollywood and ended up being the president of the Nollywood Association. And why are you saying that? You know, sorry, I'm being totally interrupted here. Yeah, and you know, and so it kind of mirrors his life in a way. So yeah, and that's where we are.
Well, it certainly looks very interesting. And of course, the film blends veteran actors like Hank Anuku, Bimbo Akintola, with Gen Z stars, including, I think, Brother Shaggy, Shatta Bandle, and so on and so forth. I mean, how did you balance their energies? I understand you lost quite a bit of weight trying to do that. But I mean, looking at you now, you're looking even younger than I seem to remember you.
Thank you, Charles. That's very kind. Well, you know, it was mayhem. Let me tell you, like, it was what we call unlimited chaos. I mean, can you imagine myself, Brother Shaggy on the same set, and we have Shatta Bandle all the way from Ghana. You know, he plays the character called Shako Spara, and the sparks that were flying around the set. Yes, I did lose weight. It was very, very difficult to balance all those mad energies that was on set. But it was fantastic for the film. And also, I've got to say that, you know, we had Chidi Mokeme, we had Julius Agu, we had newcomer Kim Kimora, who has just the most amazing figure that Nollywood has never seen yet, and you have to see. And yeah, and also we had mad car chases. I'm being chased by all kinds of animals through the film, you know, and yeah.
You say animals?
Yeah. I'm being chased in this film by a live crocodile.
Now that sounds interesting. That's if a bit scary.
Yeah, it is very scary. The crocodile wants basically to chop my feet off and it's scary. Yes, yes. But you know, Charles, we have trained crocodiles in Nollywood. This is part of our extension into live stunts.
Well, that's impressive.
And we have good crocodiles and bad crocodiles.
I expect you were leaning towards the good ones, were you? Or you wouldn't be here talking to me.
I wrote a letter off to the Society of Good. I wrote a letter off to the Society of Good Crocodiles to say, look, please, can we please have the good crocodiles, not the bad ones, you know, the ones with the really, you know, sort of kind eyes, not the ones with the slitty eyes that look at you like they're going to gobble you up with a bit of, you know, soup and onions and tomato thrown in for good measure. That
sounds really interesting. And of course, you directed the film and you also starred in it. Your character, Okechukwu Nwadibe, I think it is a washed-up director chasing dreams. I mean, how much does that speak to failure and reinvention?
I think it speaks to reinvention. I don't think I've ever had a sense of failure. I've had a sense of frustration, but I don't think I've ever had a sense of failure. And as you know, Charles, you know, the roles that I've played in the past, I got a little bit bored, you know, the father who's lost a fortune, and I was being cast as the older figure. And as I grow older, I find myself moving more and more towards playing the action roles, you know? The guy who takes out the gun and goes underneath the car, you know, James Bond type roles. And of course, nobody was writing this, you know, so I wrote it for myself. So if you say so, reinvention.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned previously, you of course starred in many international Hollywood movies. You're also the founder of New Nigeria Cinema. How does this, your latest film, reflect your vision for elevating Nollywood's global footprint?
Well, I am very expectant, a little anxious, but I'm very expectant. And I think one of the things that we need to focus more and more in Nollywood is higher and higher production values, so that our films can sell internationally, you know. Then we become more and more of a global export, you know, like Afrobeat, you know. The Nigerian film has the ability to transcend all of that. You know, we globally export the image of a nation, and we export it in a positive way, you know, in a warm way, not in a negative way. And I really believe in that 100%. And I think the more and more stories that we get to tell, the more we're going to push up our production values, and the more we're going to challenge other international film industries out there. You know, our films should really invade the Western world, Europe, North America, South Africa, Canada, and by the way, I've been told that, you know, there are Nollywood streets in Jamaica, in the Caribbean. There's a huge audience out there in the diaspora, Nigerians and their friends and their friends' friends, who want to watch more and more Nollywood films, and we need to feed that demand, you know.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, so you've done all this. I mean, Hollywood, Nollywood, direct. I think this is the second movie you're directing. I mean, what's next? This is not a Nollywood movie. Feels like some kind of a statement. I mean, what's next for you? More satire, or are you exploring sort of other genres, taking risks going forward?
Well, I'm taking risks. Charles, I like to take risks. At the moment, I am reversing my age to get ready for another role. I play a Nigerian James Bond.
Sounds interesting. So lots of shooting, you know, lots of shooting, lots of chasing, and all the rest of that.
You know, speedboat chases, gorgeous women. You know, going out into the Sahel, into the Sahara, into the desert, Tom Cruise style stuff. Because I really believe, I'm the kind of actor, I believe a great deal in physicality. So I want to be able to show that, you know.
Right. My producer, Rita Osakwe, wants to know whether she can be in your movie, the next one.
Yes, she can. She's most welcome. You know,
have to audition, won't she?
Look, I mean, yeah, of course she has to audition, and I have a fantastic casting couch, which will be most welcome to, to participate.
I like that. Really, really funny. Now, look, we're almost out of time. The film is scheduled for release on December the 6th. What is the one thing you want the viewers to remember or feel as they leave the theater?
I want them to forget their sorrows, troubles, economic frustrations, and remember that it's Christmas time. There's a lot going on in the country. I appreciate there's a lot of tension in the country, but what I really want is for the nation to really have a bucketfuls of laughter. Laugh, laugh, laugh until you drop, and then come back and watch the film with your friend, with your aunt, with your brother. From December 5, 2025, we're nationwide, distributed by Film One. Please, this is not a Nollywood movie. It's coming straight at you.
Indeed. And if the trailer is anything to go by, there's going to be gobfuls of laughter in it. And I myself will most definitely go to see it. And thank you very much for giving us your time. I know you had an event to attend this evening, but you took a bit of time to talk to us, and we appreciate it. Wale Ojo is a writer, producer, actor, and director. And of course, he directed This Is Not a Nollywood Movie, and he was talking to me on the line there from Lagos. Good to see you, Wale, and best of luck with the movie. That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja and Lagos, bye-bye, and thank you for watching.